Bro, what if it's Tom?
Tired of this. Get out of my house.
Some locations feel left behind for a purpose. They're not just deserted. Stories that refuse to be buried can be found all over the world in abandoned structures, crumbling prisons, and silent buildings. When paranormal investigators visit these places, they frequently report strange apparitions, mysterious motions, and terrifying encounters, as if something inside never wanted the living to return. Tonight, we shall take you to a couple of these places, so sit tight and let's begin. Listen closely to this one, because the fear in her voice is very real. A woman is recording inside her home while calling someone named Dr. Kosler. From the start, you can hear that she's already scared. She explains that strange things are happening again in the house. First, the water suddenly turns on by itself. Then she starts hearing noises moving through different rooms.
Dr. Kosler, it's Mary. It's happening again. The water just came on. I'm hearing noises. My dogs are going crazy. I'm hearing stuff in the kitchen, in the bedroom. I don't know what to do.
The kitchen, the bedroom, like something is walking around the house. At the same time, her dogs begin barking and acting restless, almost like they're reacting to something they can sense. You can hear the panic building in her voice while she tries to explain what's going on, and then suddenly the sound of water running starts again.
Oh my God, the water just turned on. I'll call you right back.
That's when she completely loses her calm and starts shouting for it to stop, telling whatever is there to leave them alone. And honestly, moments like this are terrifying.
Oh my God, go away, leave us alone! Oh my God.
Not because of what we clearly see, but because of what might be there that we can't see at all. The investigation begins inside the historic Double Eagle restaurant, a centuries-old building standing near the quiet streets of Mesilla. Known for its violent past and its connection to a nearby historic jail, the restaurant has long been rumored to host strange paranormal activity. As the team begins their lockdown, the atmosphere already feels heavy and tense. Then suddenly, something shocking happens. A plastic tabletop sign sitting on a nearby table across a window begins to wobble on its own before tipping over and crashing to the floor. No one is near it, and there is no wind.
Oh my God.
What? Come here. Go out here.
Wait, stop. What? What? What did you see?
I just saw something move. Something fell.
Oh, it's like, what the?
Reviewing the footage confirms what they saw. The sign actually lifts slightly before falling. The investigators immediately try to provoke whatever moved it, challenging the unseen force to do it again.
That was amazing. Can you please do that again for us? And I'll catch it.
Moments later, something makes a sound behind them. Soon after, more strange activity follows.
Who did this?
That was so incredible. I can't believe that.
I can't believe you captured
Okay,
it.
it's so cool.
Oh my God.
What was that?
I don't know. Something, the hair is standing on the back. I can't even talk right now. That came from like 20 feet over there.
An electromagnetic meter spikes violently, while a cold gust rushes through the room, sending chills down their spines. Zach suddenly feels something pass through his body, pushing him backward as the hair on his neck stands straight up. Nearby objects appear disturbed. A fork sits halfway off a table, and small items shift as if nudged by invisible hands. With objects moving and energy spikes responding to their presence, investigators begin to suspect something intelligent may be interacting with them. You probably know Mo Sagi, and in this clip he decides to do something really risky, trying to summon Tom, the demon ghost, inside Tom's own abandoned house. The place already feels wrong the moment they walk in. Even in the daytime, the air inside the house feels colder than outside, and the whole place gives off a heavy, uncomfortable feeling. They start exploring the rooms, and eventually reach the attic, the part of the house that had been sealed off for years. According to the story, nobody in the family was ever allowed to go up there.
Okay, Ali, this is the entrance to the attic.
Excuse me?
That's the entrance to the attic.
That's supposed to be an entrance?
Yep.
Do you ever think it might be boarded up for a reason?
So here's the thing. That attic there, Tom's great-grandson and their family were never allowed up into the attic. So when Tom owned this house, like in the 1800s, he sealed off the upstairs part of this house. Nobody's ever been inside. I don't know who has cut a hole through this, but I went through it the other day and it was unbelievably scary. Do you want to be the first one to go in there?
Inside the attic, they begin trying to contact Tom using a spirit box. At first, the device just scans through radio noise. Then suddenly, voices begin coming through. Not one voice, but several different ones answering the questions.
Yes, sir.
Did you hear yes, sir?
I heard yes, sir. Hello. Tom, why are you haunting your great-grandson, Cyrus? What did you hear?
I heard crud.
I heard crud. Tom, why are you haunting your great-grandson, Cyrus?
Quando? I don't know.
I heard Quando.
One response clearly says yes, confirming the house belongs to Tom. Then another message comes through telling them to turn around.
If there is a spirit in this house, what is your name? That sound like Tom.
That did sound like Tom.
That sound like Tom. Okay, yo. What the f? That actually sound like Tom. Turn around? Something said turn around.
I swear to God, I heard turn around.
Watch our backs, Sally.
That's when the atmosphere in the room instantly changes. Moments later, they begin hearing heavy footsteps somewhere in the house, even though nobody else is supposed to be there.
I think there's somebody downstairs. We heard footsteps. Keep recording. So we are kind of cowering in the corner right now because we heard heavy footsteps downstairs. Bro, that sounded like there's somebody walking downstairs.
The spirit box suddenly shuts itself off on its own, not once, but twice. And just when they think things can't get worse, a loud bang echoes through the house.
We heard a loud bang coming from outside of this room, but the door is locked. Nothing can come in here.
Yo, I'm shaking right now, bro.
Bro, what if it's Tom?
And the sound of someone walking down the staircase follows. At that point, it's clear something inside the house knows they're there. This eerie CCTV clip shows a quiet museum exhibit hall late at night. Glass display cases and artifacts sit in dim emergency lighting, while the building remains completely still. Instantly, you don't feel something different till you focus. There is a ghostly figure moving around, observing paintings. A pale, semi-transparent humanoid figure slowly moves from display to display on the left side of the frame.
Қараңыз, біреу жүр ананың ішінде. Призрак. Көрдіңіз бе осы тағы? Призрак. Иә, көрдіңіз бе? Призрак жүр.
Tall and misty, with no visible facial features, it glides smoothly, as if floating.
Қайта сізге көрінбепті жаңа. Көрінгенде сіздің есіңіз шығады деді. Оны көрдіңіз бе? Елес жүр ғой, елес. Призрак.
The figure briefly pauses near the center, almost as if observing a painting, before fading into darkness, leaving the museum silent and empty once again. Trying to call a ghost might sound like fun, but moments like this make people think twice. In this clip, a group of friends are sitting around a round table in a dim room. There's a candle placed in the middle, and everyone has their eyes closed while holding hands, almost like they're trying to focus while calling out to something unseen. For a few seconds, nothing really happens. The candle flame moves slightly, and the room stays quiet while they continue the ritual. It almost feels like it's just another attempt that isn't going to work. But then the table suddenly shifts. At first, it's a small movement, the kind that could easily make you think someone moved their hands by accident, but the shaking doesn't stop. Instead, the table starts moving more noticeably, almost like it's being pushed from underneath.
Pažnja, ovo je zemljotres.
The friends immediately react, looking at each other in confusion. And for a moment, nobody seems to understand how the table just started moving like that. Whatever they tried calling, something clearly answered. This clip by Mark Apsolon, uploaded in late December 2012, serves as the dramatic finale to a long-running found footage horror series. This footage, discovered on December 21st, 2012, the exact date the Mayan calendar supposedly predicted the end of the world, builds intense suspense around real paranormal activity. The video opens with a disclaimer, claiming the tape was found at an undisclosed residence and is being shared as instructed.
Camera's going nuts.
It then shifts to shaky, low-quality handheld camera footage, capturing an individual in a dark setting around midnight. Viewers hear eerie ambient sounds, a ticking clock, unexplained noises, and sudden atmospheric changes, like shifting air pressure. Tension escalates as the camera jerks violently. Bright flashes appear, and a figure clad in white appears at the end of the hallway.
Going nuts. It's going nuts.
That moment is absolutely creepy, and soon the recording cuts off abruptly. The tall, shadowy, possibly goat-headed figure glimpsed in flashes aligns with demonic or otherworldly lore, implying the entity claimed its victim in real time. Playing with spirits in a cemetery, that already sounds like a bad idea. But watch what happens in this clip. A young man is inside a cemetery late at night taking part in a strange spiritual game. On the ground is an old mat that was found there. According to local customs in parts of Southeast Asia, this type of mat is sometimes used to cover the body of someone who has died in an accident. Instead of leaving it alone, they decide to use it for a ritual. They place a small puppet on the mat, say a prayer, and begin casting spells while recording everything. After that, the puppet is wrapped inside the mat, and the whole thing is rolled up tightly. Then they tie it with 3 red threads. Once everything is set, they start chanting again and step back, waiting to see if anything happens. For a few seconds, nothing moves. The rolled mat just lies there on the ground in the quiet cemetery. Then suddenly something strange happens. The mat slowly begins to move on its own. At first, it's just a small shift. But then it moves again. And that's when everyone watching realizes the mat isn't supposed to be moving at all. This chilling clip from a Sam and Colby investigation at the infamous new Conjuring House captures what many fans believe is a missed apparition during their month series. The footage places viewers inside a pitch-black attic filled with dusty beams and cramped shadows where every movement feels tense. As the investigator moves carefully with a flashlight, he admits he can barely see and asks whatever might be present not to harm him.
I really can't see, guys. This is terrifying. Please do not hurt or harm me.
While attempting spirit communication, a faint EVP repeatedly responds with the word barn.
I'm on the other side of the attic. Is there a message you want to send to me?
Barn.
Barn? This is your chance. If you're up here, give me a sign.
Can you give us a name to contact with the spirit board?
Is there a name that we can use to contact the spirit? We want to be safe, but we also want answers.
But the most unsettling moment happens quietly in the background. Deep in the shadows, viewers claim a vague humanoid shape appears to be sitting on a sofa or object, watching the entire exchange. It never moves, yet its presence feels strangely deliberate.
Can you give us a name to contact with the spirit board?
Is there a name that we can use to contact the spirit?
There's no jump scare or dramatic reveal, just a subtle shape many didn't notice at first. Some say it's attic clutter or pareidolia. Others believe the investigators unknowingly walked past a real entity hiding in plain sight. Whatever that was, it definitely feels like something is inside the house now. In this clip, a girl is home alone recording a sweet video for her mother's birthday. She's standing in her room, singing a song and filming herself like a normal birthday surprise. At first, everything looks completely normal. Then suddenly, there's a loud knock on one of the doors. She pauses, a little confused, and goes to check it. When she opens the door, there's nobody there. She looks around the hallway for a moment, thinking maybe someone was playing a prank, but the house is completely empty.
¿Quién anda ahí?
She walks back to her room and tries to continue recording. Then another door knocks again. This time the sound feels closer. She checks again, and once again there's nobody outside.
Mami, te grabo este video porque están tocando constantemente la puerta.
Now she's clearly nervous, but still trying to stay calm, she slowly walks back into her room, and right at that moment, the blanket on her bed suddenly gets pulled down hard. Almost like someone yanked it, she quickly turns the camera around, showing the whole room. She even checks under the bed. There's nobody there, but something definitely moved that blanket. Okay, imagine checking your home security camera and seeing this. The room is completely empty. No one's inside, no windows open, nothing moving. Just a normal, quiet house while the owners are away. For a few seconds, everything looks totally normal. Then suddenly, a chair moves, not slowly tipping over like it lost balance. It actually slides and falls like something pushed it. And that's when things get even stranger. Another piece of furniture shifts across the room. It doesn't just wobble or fall. It's almost like it's being shoved. There's no wind, no shaking walls, nothing around that could cause it. And the creepy part is, the room is still empty. If you were watching this live on your phone, you'd probably pause the video and watch it again just to make sure you saw it right, because it really looks like something is inside the room, moving things around, except there's nobody there. So now I'm curious, if this was your house and you saw this on your security camera, would you go back inside right away, or would you stay outside for a while? Take a careful look at this night vision footage, because the moment it changes happens very quickly. A child is alone in the room, quietly playing while the camera records the scene in the dark. Nothing seems unusual, just a typical moment inside the house during the night. But then, something happens that no one expected. Out of nowhere, the child suddenly lifts upward into the air for a brief second. It's not a jump, and it doesn't look like the child pushed off the ground. It's almost like something unseen pulled them upward. Then just as quickly, the child drops back down onto the floor. The movement happens so fast that it's hard to process at first, but when you replay the footage, the moment becomes clearer. The child didn't jump. The child didn't climb on anything. For a second, they simply rise into the air and fall back down again. There's no one else in the room, nothing visible causing it. Some people believe this clip shows something paranormal. Others think there might be a hidden explanation behind the footage. But when you watch that exact moment closely, it's definitely enough to make any parent feel uneasy.